How do I get it from the
Should
website?
be at the bottom. Bottom.
I see.
I think you might have had an old version downloaded, and that's the issue.
Yeah. Where filament? No, not there. Here.
Should have known to check the error log first.
I didn't know there was an error log. Okay.
Yeah, it's on the very right.
Yeah. Alright, let's try that again. Where's the AHK? Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties, please stand by. We'll be right back with you with your area metric. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Right. I will go back to streaming my regular OBS.
Make sure not to spoil Biggie with the results.
I have other things loaded so that I know. I have not been looking at the stream because I don't want to accidentally be privy to info I shouldn't be.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
why are there pronouns on your Twitch chat?
Yeah, that's just a thing you can do. Alright.
Huh, I didn't know that. Only Biggie has them, but still. Anyways, hi everybody, we're back. Welcome to week 10 of the Opus Magnum Weeklies. This week is Faero Filament. It's my puzzle. I am not sorry whatsoever. But yeah, this puzzle came from the thought that we wanted to do something quantum bonded related, and I think there was talks about double infinites at the same time at the time, double infinites, interlocking infinites, like these ideas. So yeah, this is how this puzzle idea came to be. And in terms of how quantum bonds work, in case you didn't read the page for this week yet, quantum bonds are molecules that are connected not by physical bonds. They are considered the same molecule altogether, but they can be far apart, so they move at the same time. But the problem is that they're not actually, there is actually no actual bonds in between them. I think the implementation is that the bonds are I guess they're just registered as one group of atoms, that this is a molecule, and they will move together. And there doesn't have to actually be a bond in between them. And the game only checks if there are actually bonds in between them until it debonds. So once it debonds, everything in the quantum molecule detaches.
Alright, I'm trying to demonstrate it here, but...
Everyone can just go look at the examples on the website, which I'll send in the Twitch chat. Yes, I know your chat rules, Mara.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you can all just check out the Weeklies site.
But yeah, anyway, without further ado, we shall get started with the first metrics.
The first metric we'll be starting with would be area.
Okay, that's not an area solve, that's not an area solve. I don't know if that's an area solve.
Area solve should be easy enough. I guess
but the problem is there might be first solves in here that might be ineligible for TI because they use track. Oh wait, no, they won't.
It's a T plus I metric. Though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, they're eligible.
This is the first thing that might reasonably be an area solve. So starting at...
What is it, like 100 or something?
Yeah, starting at 101, normal existing. Right, please work.
Double click F10. Should be should be there.
We got updated on the screen. Oh, and then we showed the next person already.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
Alright. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so you can interlock the infinite.
This is area minded. But yeah, so the thought of this puzzle is that you can interlock the infinites, but how you're supposed to do that in a reasonable space is the challenge. Since it takes up a lot of space just to build the thing without ruining it. Also, you need two grippers. They're not actually all connected.
Yeah, you have two molecules.
Yeah.
And you have to make them from things that are quantum bonded. Or at least you have to include things that are quantum bonded in that, because the connections between the 12 visually disconnected parts that come from the two infinites and make only two molecules. You have 12 different looking things and 2 actual things, so there have to be at least 10 quantum bonds in your products.
Yeah, I feel like the hardest part of this puzzle is differentiating like which molecule is which.
Yeah, there's so many screenshots where it's like, yeah, this screenshot I tried to share with my teammate is kind of useless if you cannot draw on the screenshot to say these are part of the same molecule, these are part of the same molecule. That's actually separate.
That's kind of an issue.
You might
because
need
you need to draw out the quantum bonds. Like, yeah, these things are connected. It doesn't look like it, but they are.
Yeah. I was working on a team this week with somebody who didn't have access to an install of Opus Magnum, so everything that they communicated were hexgraph note paper, but they had a good system going.
Yeah, text up, which I slightly.
You were in a
spoiled
team.
here.
Y'all were a team.
Aventula and Skyhawk.
Yeah, we
Alright.
accidentally spoiled this. But yeah, this is when like it actually starts looking more like, I mean, the previous solution looked like area as well, but like you can see how the idea is to interlock the infinites, but interlocking the infinites, you have to keep in mind of which infinite is which and how to build the pattern correctly and not
Also,
make any
there's-
wrong bonds.
There's
This
an
one has extras on the
offset.
bottom.
There's an offset here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Also,
it's
yeah,
6p.
if you don't debond anything ever, then
I mean,
you're
you
gonna
can-
have to build something that extends off of either the left or the right end.
No,
It's a
you don't
little
have
bit area
to.
wasteful.
No, like in the previous solution, there was nothing extended past everything, and it
Yeah,
still
there
worked.
was. Yeah, there was. There
No,
was
there wa-
extended
just
in
the
the middle
dot
row.
dot. But it,
Yeah,
yeah,
right,
but
yeah.
it went on the dot dot. So
Yeah, you
also,
can.
Mara, the screen shrunk
What?
on stream.
What's shrunk?
On Twitch stream, things are fine.
Yeah.
What? Why is it smaller for me?
You probably hit a zoom key.
There's a zoom? No. Wait, let me screenshot and show you. This
But
doesn't
yeah.
look right.
Here we have the first showing of pivots, which look quite funny with quantum bonded molecules.
Pivots are good because they can move off the thing without unsuppressing it. Which, I mean, that's true for any multi-atom
That
molecule.
doesn't look right.
That's on your end. My end is fine.
What
I'll
is-
refresh.
What does it all look like?
There's
do I see
it looks like there's just black. I'm streaming black space. No, that is
Yes,
just on
thanks, Mara. I'm giving you money via ads right now.
Right.
Well, I'm able to watch Twitch just fine. Callie
Yeah,
says
but-
that Twitch randomly thinks she
Twitch
shakes her
issue,
head
I
sometimes
see.
too.
Next up,
Mara
we
is
have
on,
Sockboy
not-
with Interlace.
Biggie is subscribed to Mara. She won't get ads.
I was gifted a sub thanks to Gerchi from Battle Royale community.
Oh, this one only
Oh
has
wow,
3
this
arms.
goes out of the
Oh.
this goes out of the top. It's just so big. I
Yeah,
will suppress
so
it.
an important part about this is like how many arms you want to use. Like you have to use a minimum of 2 arms. Oh, this one does
My
debonding.
first
yeah.
debonder.
There has to be a minimum of 2 arms because you need to slide the 2 molecules at the same time.
Yeah, I think 2 arms is min if you're interlacing, obviously, but 3 arms might be
Yeah,
min
the
if you're trying to
theoretical minimum.
build interlaced things. Because you
Mhm.
have to move the 2 interlaced things while you also keep your other parts moving. Because a lot of the times you'll end
Mhm.
up with something sitting on the bonder that you want to slide past first.
So,
I don't know. I
can you
didn't
not
find
just
it 2 arms.
build the whole thing as one molecule? Does that not validate?
Wait,
You cannot build the whole thing as one
Mr.
molecule.
Royal Spade just gifted me a tier 1 sub to use.
Thank you for the
Thank
sub.
you.
I am now only, what, $45 off getting a payout from Twitch?
Oh, I could gift
Okay.
$42 worth of subs or something. I know it's not actually worth it to me. Twitch doesn't get all of my money, but Mara should get some of it.
Oh yeah, this also has two
Two
projectors,
projectors.
interestingly. Yeah. It probably doesn't. I don't
Does
know.
this look
I guess it just has the space to put the projector, so it might as well. Even though the secondaries cost, I don't know. Is the second projector necessary for this solve to work?
Yeah, I'm having a look. It might just be there for convenience, I don't know.
Oh yeah, and also it doesn't put anything on the dot dot dot. I guess that's what it's using the debonder for.
Yeah. Trix is calling out in chat that you can probably not even build the whole thing as one molecule. I think you can. It requires one extra atom off the bottom right or top left or top right corner, because there are 2 atoms in the infinite that are part of the same channel on one to the other.
Yeah, extras. You can do extras to the left, I think.
Or to the right, yeah. But you can create one molecule that has all of this. It won't validate, is the real issue.
Oh crap, I forgot about notes. I'm gonna check the previous solves for notes.
Oh, good call.
This one does not have it.
But yeah, from the solves I think we've already seen solves that don't extend more than the area footprint to the right.
Right.
Okay.
There's the very
this one is one of them, but like it has a debonder. But like even the ones without a debonder does that too.
Right, anyway, Avenged Schooler and Skyhawk, right? Avenged Ruler, while I don't think this will be a top contender for the week, I am happy with the result compared to time put in. Mulled over a lot on how to assemble this over the week. Didn't really come to a clean solution, but this one seemed the most manageable with having the stacked outputs. Ended up being a lot more involved than I thought, hence the track at the top. For the metals, I felt it would be best to do them at the start rather than pass the quicksilvers around. I feel like this is suboptimal, but probably surprisingly competitive. Also, I have no idea how this polymer verifies. It was so funny I had to leave it in. Wait.
Of the hell?
Wait, hang on. Does this not...
It probably verifies first. Since, it's actually offset in the interlacing.
Yeah.
Oh, so this one verifies to here, and that one verifies to there. That's very funny.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, this is offset, I see. Very cool.
I don't know whether debonder is necessary.
We don't even know what min is.
You, the weekly hosts, don't know what min is?
No, this is the first time I'm opening the puzzle.
We haven't looked at the solution.
Got it. I know what you and I figured is probably min, but we might be wrong, so let's see.
Next up we have Gaijin Caster. No notes. Only 3 arms again.
New submitter. Let's go. Hi.
I think they've been in a couple of the weeklies before.
They have?
Yeah. The name.
If this is the first weeklies, though, I already said I'm not sorry, so I'm just keep to that.
This one also has 2 projectors for convenience. I mean, this one you can clearly see why there's 2 projectors. So.
Yeah.
And also 2 offsets.
I mean, they know how to use input suppression.
The 2 offsets not being on the ... is unfortunate. Maybe you could save another 2 area there.
Yeah. You can save 2 area by trying to put the offset on the ... because ... already takes up area.
If you build it with the 2 extending off to the right, then you have to add things to the middle of the hole, which is a little hard. I don't know. It's a bunch of EQ glyphs. It's hard to lay this.
Yeah. Next up, we have Chickens in the Attic with the tube, saving 1 area of the previous ones. So I think now we're starting to get smaller drops, because 15th was 68, 14th was 67, and this was 66. So these are now, these look pretty area conscious. This one has the ... in the middle, so...
Oh, it's building it with the... Yeah.
So you have
this is the way you can do, like, to it without a bonder, without extending out past the right. Past the area footprint, that is.
Yeah, so this is what, the lubricating solvent monomer? Wait.
I don't know which one's which.
True. Yeah, is this 6p? No, this is 1p, so yeah, it's clearly using a monomer. Yeah, it's this monomer here. Of just the offset stuff. This makes a lot of sense, actually.
You just build like a sort of a...
This is the first solve so far that I've understood how it works, so...
Yeah, I
just
like
kind
how
of build like the monomer out.
The 2 inputs start out interlaced, so it's... Yeah, it's about as straightforward to arrange as it can be, instead of what I'm remembering of my programming process.
Basically, all this does is like it
straightforward.
it just makes the interlaced outputs and like, you know, uses it as sort of a monomer, I suppose.
It's a 1/3 of a monomer.
Yeah, it's a 1/3 of a. Is it?
It does have to switch the ordering of them.
It's like 8 atoms. That's like, I don't even know.
Next up, we have Mr. Puzzle with
Mr.
Is that A?
Mr. Puzzle. A.
It's A. You know,
A.
for area.
A. Mr. Puzzle writes, too many projectors. Could put track in the work area more.
Yeah, that is a lot of projectors.
At least it does the fun and funny thing where the inputs are interwoven. It's an all-rate area solve, probably.
12 is pretty alright, if you ask me.
Oh wow, 3 projectors. That is a lot.
It has the space to do it, so it might as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious of like, there is a version of this puzzle you could think of, which I don't know if it was ever made or play tested, where it's just tin and air in the outputs and you don't have to place quicksilver or projection. And I can imagine that being annoying because you don't have a single atom around to do input suppression with, but a lot of the processes we've seen so far kind of just treat projection as
double overlap.
Yeah, I mean all the solutions we've looked at so far seem to just treat projection as another step that's kind of annoying to have to do. Whereas my solution that I worked on did feel like having extra quicksilver around was a godsend, so you could juggle suppression.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how much more it'll feel like that once we get to lower areas.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering what is naive min? Because you obviously need one project.
I mean, if we're gonna ask for naive min, we're gonna ask the people in the chat. What do you think is naive min?
True. Because
38 plus the glyphs, which is just inputs, bonder, projector, and then 2 arms, and then you would say naive min. But definitely adding some track, adding an additional arm, adding a debonder, adding maybe another
excellent,
bonder.
we have the playtest solve, huh? You didn't
Paxton
playtest
64A is naive min. There we go.
This
This is a simple solve.
Yeah, this is the same like.
No, it's not 6. It's 1p.
The third monomer solve that we've seen earlier. Very cool.
Yeah, this is probably like the easiest way to go about it. Just build this shape and do it again. It's a really straightforward way to do it.
Is this the only playtest area solve, or did you have another?
I think this is the only playtest solve.
This area solve.
Got it. No one ever tested area below 64 to see whether it was fun. That's great.
Don't worry about it.
That's great.
Biggie, this is my puzzle. You know me at this point.
Right,
I do, but this is a really interesting puzzle. I figured with it being an interesting puzzle, there was a chance.
The puzzle out there and be like, go crazy.
We didn't even know this was the week 10 puzzle until about, I think, the day before week 10.
We didn't have a week 10 puzzle lined up. This was just put in.
Oh gosh, I love the weekly crew so much.
The weekly crew was very organized, I tell you.
Goodness. I mean, as somebody who ran a tournament, you can make it look good without having put all the right effort in. I can say that much.
I know.
Yeah,
week 8 of my tournament wasn't even a real thing before I released it. Before I released week 1.
I added a break week so I could figure out what week 6 was going to be.
What was your week 6?
Active polymerase.
Oh, I see.
The one that had a cycles times bonders metric, which kind of stunk. People kept doing glyphs times cycles, and it was nice.
But yeah, at the 63 area, Fuyu writes, clearly the output arrangement that results in the lowest area is when the 2 polymers are interleaved with each other, but this means that it is difficult to attach individual quantum bonded pairs to the polymers without some awkward routing. Therefore, I opted to work with rows of 4 atoms at a time by slotting the one pair of atoms between the other, then attaching to each row in turn. In this setup, the top and bottom rows alternate quantum bonds with the middle row to form a continuous polymer. Couldn't find a way to do it with bonders right next to the projectors, so there's an extra row of 3 empty hexes in the middle for rearrangements. Here.
Also, I wanted to say, making these products really looks like they're braiding it.
Yeah.
Middle, left, right, middle, left, right. It's like we're braiding the polymer.
I couldn't tell you where this
Interesting
saves for
movement.
one area of the previous of this, but
Probably
it
in
really
terms of
does.
track or like, you know,
Oh yeah,
This
right. This,
assembly area, I would assume.
this
At
is
some point, we have to start counting equilibrium hexes. Right now, there's still enough. And there's extra glyphs, so it's hard to count.
Right now, there's still a lot of them just laying around. A lot of empty space. You can just move around.
next up in
Ooh,
10th
dropped
place.
all the way to 60.
Egg Triple
That's an
Split.
interesting
Congrats on
track
topping that.
layout.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
track loopable time. It's named Parallel Process. This is a monomer. Oh, okay. It's just doing it opportunistically, so it's still the same method we've seen before.
You know, I wonder if it's possible.
Oh, is it?
I wonder if it's possible to just make one, disassemble it, make another one. Do recycling for this
Recycling?
godforsaken puzzle.
I mean, any atom that doesn't have quantum bonds on it is limited in where it can be used, because you need
Yeah,
5 quantum
fair.
bonds between the infinite. So if you disassemble something, you have enough atoms to build. You have to stash at least 6 atoms, just because you don't have
Yeah.
the same number of iron.
Yeah,
atoms
Spade,
as
I'm
them.
thinking the same
Mhm.
thing. This. What is this build order?
You add the last thing last because the
Certainly.
air is right next to the input.
Oh, I
or the-
see. Yeah, the air's
Yeah.
here, so this air just gets added
The air
at
is
the very
it's like doing the same thing as the previous ones. You just insert the air in between. What is that? Why is there a hole?
end.
You want that extra space
is.
to get the
Insert in
projection
the hole.
sorted out, and then once you actually build, then the
Yeah.
air fits in easily.
But yeah, this is the first solve we've seen to just do it with piston pushers and not have a track running along the bottom or the top, which is very
Yeah.
interesting.
It's on the side. Surprisingly. Most of the solutions I've seen, they put like the tracks above or below.
We have yet
Anyways.
to see. Oh wait, no, we did see a debonder. There was a debonder in. I remember Haxton calling it out in chat. I was gonna ask when we'll see our first debonder, but I.
Also, Ebonov noticed that you don't have to project the first spin.
Oh yeah, you can
True.
put a ... 10.
Yeah.
I think that's the first person that actually noticed that. Everybody else used iron on the ... You don't have to project it.
Yeah.
It's
There's
not
quite a lot of
necessary.
suppression going on in this one. I think this one's starting to make the Quicksilver into a blocker for one of the inputs.
Yeah, I mean, how
which
many
is an
empty
improvement.
spaces are there? Like, there's one empty space here, 2 empty spaces here, and an extra projector. So that means, in theory, you could maybe make 54? Dunno.
People are saying, "Oh shit," to the "you don't have to project."
Rip 6 cycles, surely that will matter.
Yeah, I mean, the solution is 1p. It doesn't matter.
Y'all have atoms on the ...
Anyways, in 8th place, we have
Next place. Area? What's the area?
Spiritual Shampoo with min +1, a 1 area drop
Oh.
to 58
Are we still
area.
doing primary drops for all of them, or has there been primary ties yet?
There was a primary tie to Haxton, but everything else has been a primary drop.
All submissions that score have been different primary.
Yes.
Amazing.
Damn,
Min is
okay.
57.
I was like,
we already know
haven't
this
been-
without
I was like,
seeing
we
57.
haven't been announcing the cycles.
Yeah.
I was like, we haven't been announcing the cycles, so
No, this
This
one
one
has a
has
lot
a-
more
has
track.
it
all been
Oh, this
primary
is
space?
this is single. I
Yeah.
think this is the first single projector that we've seen. So that's where all the extra track comes in handy. And it doesn't use Crotelli.
I'm surprised that you can only save one area. Just looking at the zigzag of track.
Yeah.
But I mean, proof by spiritual
This was not
shampoo
even
got it.
suppressing with Quicksilver.
And in Spiritual Shampoo style, it does not loop. He does not take the L.
It's new solution 1 copy.
Are there any
Would you
notes?
bother to loop
Or
new
is it
solution
the
1
notes
copy?
just say cringe?
There's no notes for this one.
Yeah, this one also does plenty of input suppression. The error is almost always suppressed. Unless
Yeah,
it's needed.
once you start to put atoms of input in the path of things you need to bond, then you're starting to have to deal with suppression all the time.
Oh yeah, I remember now. Spiritual Shampoo said they had min +1, so obviously min is 57.
Yeah. It does kind of go against my theory, but who knows?
Oh, we have our first gold drop in 7th place, Vilfuck.
Oh, this was only a cost drop. Cool. I guess is that
by
one
how
track?
much?
By
2 track.
about... but it's a 50 gold drop, because yeah, Spiritual Shampoo had a lot of pistons. This is 3 arms only.
Oh, 2 track and an additional piston.
Yeah.
And this is
This
also
also
one
does
projector.
the weird order. This also does the weird assembly order
Late
of
air.
inserting the air later.
It doesn't have the input suppressed. Every time it pulls off of the tin or the air, it's just unsuppressed. That's interesting. This is pretty low given that. Yeah, during the point where it is retracted all the way, each arm and input is uniquely given a space. There's like no other room. So to get lower, you would have to do a lot of action here. Does Vilfuck have notes? They seem
No
excited
notes.
to chat.
This is not the puzzle to have no notes on, by the way.
Congrats on 7th.
Look is in the chat.
Right, next up we have Mr. Royal Spade at a 180G. So
Oh wow.
3 track lower.
We're finally getting primary pile-ups.
Mr.
It's
Royal
cheap.
Spade writes, "This is my first time playing with quantum bonds. The puzzle is hard but manageable, so it was a great testing ground. Ultimately, personal issues cut into my playing time this week. I had this solve started as a proof of concept, but I elected to just finish it up and submit it. On the area front, it's possible it's min, but it feels like min +1 due to the track. It could be even worse if there's Quicksilver shenanigans, but I never checked that. On the cost front, I'm sure one of my 3 arms can be a regular instead of a piston, but I feel like reprogramming everything. This solve needs 3 arms because of the bottom row slide, but if you can avoid that shift, you can cut an entire arm, which feels possible. This solve isn't perfect, but I hope you do appreciate the pivot at cycle 363. It's pulled from my first draft, and I think it's very
We just passed it.
enjoy." Yeah, this is so sad.
We skipped 363.
Well, for
Is
an
it one where-
unfinished solve, or like for just the start of a solve that was just finished, this is very good.
I'm imagining what the pivot is going to be, and I'm trying to see if I.
You said 360. Yeah, this is. I've been lied to. It says 300.
Outdated notes.
Oh, it's a cycle after that. Oh god.
That one.
That one, I love it.
That's
Okay.
not cycle 363, unfortunately.
It's a 364. Past 363.
Oops, Magnum.
Opus Magnum.
Oh, yeah. So yes, you can do that pivot.
Yeah.
It's this. And that's 365.
Because
That's not even
because
off
it's
by 1
sliding.
error. But yeah, you can do a slide and a pivot, and that doesn't collide, even though this length 2 swing would normally collide.
I think that's tech used in alchemical dual cycles, where you can slide and do a too long swing and it won't hit.
The interesting thing about this one, though, is that both the slide and the pivot are quantum bonded objects that
Yeah.
are being held by an atom instead of by an arm.
Yeah. So it's not something you usually see, but I think it's the same tech.
You don't usually get to do a length 2 swing. with
Oh,
a gap
it's
in
more
the
than that.
middle.
Yeah, it's in that gap. I see. It goes in between the gap
it's in between
the
the
two
gap
ions.
between two. It's the quantum bond should be colliding with each other if there were actually bonds that existed between them.
Yeah, if that was a length 2 arm swinging and then another thing translating, you'd be like, yeah, that's interesting. And you can't do either of those movements in isolation. You're
Pivot
saying
of the
pivot
week.
of the
We're giving
week?
out pivots of the week already.
I think there's gonna be more in TI. Not gonna lie. TI was.
Oh my god, that is a very long name.
Oh, it's Trixie and
In fifth
Transcendental
place.
Guy.
Yes. And an area
In
drop to
fifth place, we
57.
have Transcendental Communications Industries in associating with Trixie Kagami Alchemy Co.
Corporation. Yeah, with 57
This is
area.
fifth place.
They write a use of
57.
this.
It's min area.
Yeah, oh yeah, true.
obviously.
Yeah, to be fair, Mr. Royal Spade was like gesturing about how 57 might be mint too, so it's not the only person. that's
Okay,
saying
but
that.
how does it save that area? Is it the
know.
bottom left? Is
You
it the
can see
bottom
that
left
it
corner?
has the inputs are more often suppressed. The air input is completely suppressed.
Yeah,
while it
also
pulls all
the
way back.
track is within the no.
Yeah, the track extends into the footprint.
Yeah. Right. Transcendental Communications Industries in association with Trixie Kagami Alchemy Corporation writes.
It is company, not corporation. Fix
Is
it.
it
Say
not?
the whole thing again. Say the whole thing again.
No. Anyway, a use for
She
this
says in chat.
a use for this
Question
filament
it.
is
Do it.
clear at first glance. Even the slightest atomic disturbance and this whole thing immediately deconstructs. However, Transcendental Communications Industries has discovered that the ion is exceptional at transmitting electrical signals. The quantum bonds between the ion atoms allow for much higher conductivity to your common copper wire. Via a partnership with Trixie Kagami Alchemy Corporation, we've released a new
Stop it.
we've released a
Funny.
new product known as quantum connectors.
We're just here to
Landline
banter
phone
on the
networks
stream.
are
We're not really
already.
even talking about the solutions.
I'm reading the notes.
Alright, continue.
Landline phone networks are already only for the elite and the military, but now the creme de la creme can enjoy the luxury of even faster transmissions.
You read it in French.
There are two variants of wire the company produces. The first of these is a very dense construction made to be the central wire that runs under the ground with offshoots for connected residencies. The reason for said density is because the additional ion atoms on the edge allow for as many potential access points as possible for the second type of wire to latch onto. Since the two variants of filament can't simply be slid into one another, its construction is specialized. Maintenance is still a delicate process due to the highly brittle structure of the wire. There's a complex set of precise protocols for any kind of adjustments. Operating with such precision often requires a small team, as the 2 points of contact with the wire is a requirement for even the slightest movement. That is the end of the notes. Very cool.
It's cool how
Alright,
this
much better lore
uses
than I do.
this uses a quicksilver that is just along for the ride, and it never projects anything. It's around since cycle 1, and it is used just for suppression.
Oh,
That
this
quicksilver
one, I
goes
see.
on an adventure.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, no, that just never gets projected, huh? Interesting. But yeah,
It's just
using
always there
input
for
suppression, it would be how this
Yeah.
saves an area.
Transcendental guy in chat asks, "Is it?" Not quite aware that that one quicksilver lasts forever. I was watching it the whole time for the notes. With the one time I
No,
stopped.
I think it's one.
Oh,
Does
it gets
swap?
changed.
No, it's
It
swap.
gets exchanged.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Well, okay. I'm shamed by how wrong I was. Anyway,
It
it's gotta
seems like
be.
there's almost always one there to provide that purpose, though. So yeah,
It's gotta be a secondary race from here on out, right?
Uh-huh,
right,
right.
Because we're in mid.
right.
In fourth
I'm in.
place, we have Meanderer with a 25 gold drop to 170.
This is different.
Oh, is that the
Is
first
Meanderer
regular arm
also
we've
a
seen?
submitter? Maybe. This is 1P again. Well, I don't even know if it's 1P.
This is not 1P.
Because it did some empty instructions there.
This is
It
very
doesn't go
6P.
scrapped, I think.
But you know, we see only the 3 tracks outside outside the height 3.
Yeah.
I guess like there's just an empty space here that's needed for the pivot hit on the air input, I guess. Maybe there's a way to save this hex.
There's also just like an extra space when you need the, just the way the bonders are arranged, it's just gonna be that one empty hex over there.
I don't know. Maybe someone pulled a neutron, puts a quicksilver.
Maybe you can use a track over there, but like if you don't need to, don't use it. It's
this is
the
clearly
secondary
thinking
is
about the
cost.
secondary.
Yeah.
I was wondering about how many solutions would be low area but still have empty space inside, where if you were trying to go fast, you would bother to add a track, but for cost, you don't.
Yeah, this looks optimized.
This one's so cost mindful that it doesn't even use a piston on that.
Yeah. Also, oh my god, the name is so long in the past solutions that it's extending into the solution.
That is not an area optimized name.
Yeah. Yeah, we can wait for it to go to completion, I suppose. But yeah, no notes for this one.
No notes for this one. Nobody's putting notes for these solutions.
The previous solution had notes, but they didn't say anything about the actual solution. Oh.
Yeah.
We love one.
Spin.
Spin.
Right, next up we have Cuckoo 52 at 56 area. Whoa.
-1.
-1? This doesn't even have a debonder yet. It just
really? It's just better.
Yeah.
So Fiesta Laren and Team Y'all are the remaining.
Yeah. Y'all have predictions for who's
Nothing
getting first
outside the
place?
footprint.
I want to hear what you all think.
Y'all got predictions, all right. Y'all predicted.
What did y'all
Royal
predict?
Spade is pointing out the pivot onto the track of the tin. Or something like that, yeah. Just
Oh yeah.
you can do some wacky stuff.
There's one thing. There's one thing that no solution so far has pulled off that I wouldn't have done on my own. That Albatross, you suggested, that has led to us getting a low. So once that comes up, I'll talk about it. But for
There's
now,
only
I'm just
2
looking
solutions left.
Yeah, for now I'm looking at this. The build order on this is still very sensible, and the
If only
geometry
is
is
modded, it
reasonable.
would probably be nice to like slow things down for this to better understand it.
Yeah, it is a top 3 solution, so yeah. But it's doing the thing with the at the start, with just the 4 atom sticks, and it's bonding them together. This seems sensible.
Yeah, it's still very straightforward in what it's doing. It's doing 4 atoms at a time because it has to, because it gets.
Yeah, no, this is the mono we've seen before.
It's just better at suppression.
Yeah. Very cool.
So they can use less area. I can't believe we're looking at min-1 right now.
I know, we live in a society.
Yeah, we saw a debonder in like one of the very early solutions, but no debonder after like 60 area.
It's interesting you can get 56 without a debug.
Yeah.
I have to wonder about, like, is this the lowest you can get without debug?
Who knows? You're gonna have to ask Cuckoo52 about this because I think he's probably the one that understands it the most. Oh,
what a funny looping! Does it bond the 2 together? It bonds the 2 together. You can see the Quicksilver bond is actually joining the 2 infinites.
Amazing.
Or no, it's a top
I
left
love the
bond that is joining
Cuckoo52
them.
loop methods.
0, 0, 0.
Yeah.
6 out of 6. 0, 0, 0.
No, but I do actually have to run all of these to completion because OMSIM has not verified them, so someone could be cheating live on
has
stream.
not verified these solutions because.
True, I could have submitted a 38 area solution that just cheated.
Yeah, because
I tried to submit a 20 something area.
But yeah, in second place we have Fiesta Laren.
It goes down to min-2.
With a debonder.
Okay, alright, we finally see the debonder now.
So what's this for? I guess Wiggy, you can explain this because I don't know.
Right, so when you're building the
Wait, Fiesta LED doesn't have nodes? No.
Really?
No?
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, all yours, Vicky.
Okay, so I'll try to describe what's going on. You can build the output with only 10 quantum bonds total. And when you're doing that, you have options to add a lot of lone atoms. Lone atoms take up less area to add. So whatever the last row you add to your infinite, it could be consisting of just lone atoms. Same with the last column if you don't want to have the full infinite covering the product and then pull it back all the way. You can just add some lone atoms to prevent needing 2 of the rows off the top and bottom like the other solutions we've seen. So when it comes time to optimizing the very end of your design, yeah, a debonder means that you just don't have the same limit that everyone else has had. So the problem is you want the debonder in a place where you won't accidentally hit it, because if you debond anything ever, this entire infinite falls.
Yeah, it falls apart.
But you can make bonds to Quicksilver and then break them so that you can just generate a lone atom pair of whichever atom type you need, or you could bond the 2 together and then debond them to get 4.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the theory with a debonder goes down to 54, as Fiesta calls out in chat. That we submitted so late, no time to write, but we believe in 54.
Which rows are connected? I cannot tell you.
So with this, you have to maintain 2 rows of quantum bonds, and then 1 row can be lone. Now, Eurysis asks,
Yeah,
do you
2
need
bonders
2 bonders? No,
2
you
bonders
don't.
is for the fact that you can't rotate because it'll exceed the area. So,
You
one
don't
for
need
one
2 bonders.
direction.
You don't need 2
You
bonders.
don't?
Yeah. That's the thing that Albatross suggested that helped us win.
Oh.
I see.
We have 1 debonder, 1 bonder.
I see.
Oh, I look
That's
forward to
the-
seeing that.
It's so painful to program, and since they didn't have the game installed, they were sending me these layouts, and I had to program them.
How is
Oh,
it faster? It's faster though. How is it faster?
Because I'm really good at cycles is why.
It sounds so much more painful. How is it faster?
Congrats to Nancy B. Drew on designing the winning solution, and then me on actually making it fast enough to win.
Next up, we have Y'all.
Y'all. Y'all got first
55
place.
area, 190 gold, but
1 bonder.
700.
It does have 2
14
extra
cycles.
track than the others, so it has the same cost,
Yeah,
but it
that's
adds
fair.
2 track and minus 1 bonder. So it does actually get more movement because of that.
The
Track
heck?
has the same cost as a
What
team.
is this?
The start was all cycle optimization. It doesn't look like anything until it's at least 100 cycles in. Now it's starting to be the actual thing.
How does it work
I guess
with
more
1
track makes it
bonder?
faster, yeah.
I'm just
So you
trying to-
have to build these 2x3 disconnected bricks, and you stash one of them. And then you build the other, and you have to slot them together. So it's possible to slot them together, and then you use a Quicksilver to get all over the inputs, and then you can slide it all the way back. The thing is, this is only done in the steady state. Once you're doing the final 2 rows, you would have to push the infinite way too far to the right to get anything out of this. So you need to do the last 2 columns separately. But in steady state, you are covering everything at 55, except for 1 track that could be saved on the bottom, which is why we couldn't rule out 54.
Good deal.
You want to read our notes? I wrote them in funny ways.
I'm
yeah.
supposed to read these. Okay.
Yeah, make sure to emphasize every word that starts with a Y.
Y'all writes, to whom it may concern. I had some ideas about this puzzle. You had better ones. Your suggestion to use a single bonder seemed impractical, even impossible at first. But your notes guided me, even while you had no way to design a solution yourself. In your notes, you rejected layouts that would hit 54, while I was struggling with a 56. In the end, y'all made a 55 happen. I toiled for a few hours over your design. Well, it doesn't look sad. Finding cycles here and there, but you were the one to claim an understanding of the area primary. And for that, I thank you. The single bonder, you'll need to craft bricks. Imagine bricks. Then these bricks connect to the whole using combined motion of 3 arms. Y'all are confident that there is no solution with fewer than 3 arms with this area. A debonder helps Yall handle lone atoms but aren't Quicksilver. This is occasionally useful, but just as often it turns out to save movements to keep things entangled. If someone has lower area priority, you will be surprised. However, I don't know what it is like to be an area main, so I'll just enjoy the show. Well, congrats, area main.
Congrats, Biggie, you're an area main now.
I only programmed an area layout.
Yes, but had you not programmed it well, you would have been second.
That's true. There were about 400 cycles to... I mean, I started... The first time this was completed was 802, so I only shaved about 90 cycles from it started to be a real thing.
Now I'm curious how this puzzle would have turned out in an actual tournament. It feels like tournament quality puzzle.
Yeah, this is definitely a tournament quality puzzle. Like, there was a lot of primary spread.
It could definitely be like a week 6 puzzle or something, because that's usually the wackiest ones. Or I guess for Zorflax tourney, the wacky puzzle was week 5.
Yes.
Biosteel moment. Biosteel was fun. I loved Biosteel.
But yeah, Spade, I enjoyed that in the notes
text.
too. Very, very well written notes, Vicky.
Thank you.
Or should I say, y'all?
Y'all. So the first thing, I was just out on a walk, and who sends me a message saying, I don't have access to an install of the game. Do you want to be on a team this week? And my first response is, sure, team name y'all. Because we know the priorities here. We're going to be a team, we have to have a name.
But yeah, that should be all the area solutions.
Right.
Let me get an upload so that I can share it in Discord.
Also, Biggie, you got to do your bricks. You were complaining to me that you couldn't do bricks in this puzzle. You got to do your bricks.
Bricks of 2x3 for this do work. Yes. I still have a title in the TI solve that is very, how dare you nerf bricking, how dare you.
But yes, up next we have TI. Let me skip all of these area solves. What is a reasonable primary to start out? Wait, we didn't see 7. Did we see 7 T-Storms solve already?
No.
You can show the test solves, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, is 70 Storm up?
Alright, we'll start with this one.
70 Storm shouldn't be test solve?
No.
Or do you just mean this?
No, she just got skipped during the area because it was too high area.
Welcome to Quantum
718 T plus I.
Ah, yes, this week's of New Solution 1. This is how the heck do you make these things?
Is that what the notes say?
No. There are...
Oh.
Yes, the notes read,
Oh,
yes,
it's got
quantum
multi-bonders.
physics, as well as quantum alchemy, are indeed memes.
It's building the entire lower one first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So multi-bonder is the easiest way to just conceptualize it, because you just make all the things on the multi-bonder. Yeah, so it builds one, and then it builds the other.
Does 70 Storm want to come up and talk about her solution, or now? No, they're not in the VC. Alright. Oh, Haxton is here. Haxton is in the audience, listening.
Oh, does this loop?
Maybe. It looks like it. I wonder if there are any meme recycling showcases. That would be funny.
Yeah, the loops. We have a infinite made of infinites. Very cool.
Oh, fun, yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have. Is that an area solve? Yeah, that's an area solve. Is that an area solve?
Is that an area solve moment?
Faero Filament. Yeah, this is normal existing's area solve. Right?
This is area, yeah.
This is the one we first looked at, yeah.
Yeah, as This is also an area solve.
This is AG. It's got AGC in the title.
I can't see the solution title in Auto Hotkey.
Score right. It's supposed to be there.
Is this a solution? An area solve? This does not look like an area solve.
This is
No, this looks like TI
120
to
T
me.
plus I.
Yeah, okay.
This looks like a new solution 1, to be fair.
I mean, it has new solution 1 in the title. So,
Mm.
yeah.
And it looks like it, is what I'm saying.
Very
It
cool.
looks like a speed solve if you ask me.
Skyhawk. I don't understand this metric. We'll get him next time. Cool puzzle though.
What you need to know about T plus I is that it's basically TI.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if we had tracks, but this is probably, with 2 infinites, the first puzzle where tracks might be reasonable. Building T plus I. If you have a multi-arm on track that is responsible for translating both your infinites, I think that's more useful than trying to translate them to using 2 separate arms, if you're able to place them correctly.
Great. In 12th place at 69. Nice. TI. Chickens in the attic.
There's no track in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is someone who understands that usually T plus I is just TI.
This...
The lore is that the notes aren't there because she didn't learn regarding 7T Storm.
This kind of gives New Solution 1 energy, but trackless.
And it's
Yeah.
also 1/3 P.
It's got the it's got
Very
the fractional P vibes to it as well, with arm 11 just moving about, just lots of arms moving about.
Yeah, chickens in the attic, right? It's less painful now that I don't need 2 extra arms to move a product out the way of the build process.
This is a pretty hard TI puzzle.
Yeah.
Haxton is the one who came up with the TI idea.
Did
Well,
Haxton
T plus I
playtest
idea.
it? Or
I was
is...
going to ask, is it playtested?
Yeah, Haxton playtested
Oh,
it.
it's actually playtested?
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
Haxton.
Alright, this is gonna lag my computer because it's swinging the infinite. I hope there's no brick solves that crash my computer in this metric.
Haxton is like the most diligent playtester in the Weeklies community. He's the one who came up with the metric. He's gonna playtest it. Praise
Next
be
up,
to Haxton.
beating this by a whopping
Zipper.
1
This
TI.
should be a-
Egg sucker.
Down.
Oh, this is actually using T plus I. This is using track. Whoa.
Yeah. Looks like
Is
it's
this building the same one?
interwoven as well.
No, it looks like it's just building 1. There's a delayed start on it.
Yeah, it's building.
Yeah, there's a
it's building
delayed
one and
start on
building
half
the
of these
other,
arms. Okay.
But the products are interwoven.
So this makes me immediately think that a decent target would be about half this. If you could somehow reuse the same mechanisms.
Mhm.
Huh.
What is half of this? 34?
Yeah, 34.
What does everybody else have?
Who knows? We shall see.
Who knows? Mhm.
But yeah, this one, what is this? Well, this is a 3rd P in quotation marks, I think.
Yeah, it's got the delayed start, which always messes up the P calculations. It's kind of weird. It's a pseudo 3rd P, I think. It's kind of hard to tell, like, what exactly is one monomer because of the way it has to be connected with the quantum bonds.
Yeah, no.
Like, normally you can build just a monomer and then, like, monomer by monomer, but no, for this puzzle specifically, you have to interweave the monomers.
Yeah, with
You
infinites,
can't just
you
build
just have to
it one at
validate.
a time.
You have to validate the infinite only once. So if you've ever seen any recycling puzzles where the goal is to make the infinite and then use it to make the outputs again.
If you want a clear example of recycling, go look at what's it called again. What is that RPO puzzle called again?
Wire forming and unforming.
Yeah, wire forming and informing.
In 10th place, we have Mr. Real Spade, and that's not a TI solve.
It's a
TI
very
enough.
Ah,
it's a very aesthetic
It's
solve.
T plus I enough.
yeah.
This is actually interwoven, which is pretty interesting. I'm surprised
Wow.
it actually does better than all the previous songs.
I was
how much
wondering if we
track
would
is on
see
there.
any I was wondering if we see any interweaving in TI, because that's like a very difficult thing to do without track, and that's also anti-synergistic with the metric.
Now this solution looks like area brains, and like you took the area solve and made it a TI solve.
Yeah.
Except Mr. Royal Spade didn't submit
exactly that.
Mr. Royal Spade didn't submit the area. Oh wait, no, he did.
Yeah, he had one of the 58.
This looks like an area solve and just oh, you pinned that?
Pinned something
I
there.
hope I get top 10. Well, look at that. It's top 10.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Mr. Royal Spade, right?
This is an area puzzle, but it saves a little on instruction.
Yeah. Over the course of the week, I got much better with quantum bonds, but I still didn't do this metric justice. In area, you get to shuffle around and waste time without hurting the primary, effectively winging it. In TI, instruction saves require you to plan ahead, which I did not do. Unfortunately, personal life issues cut into my playing time this week. Because of that, I attempted to remove instruction from my speed solve instead of experimenting from layouts. I made this solve 1/3 P and used as many hex arms as possible. I probably would have done better with more time, but TI has never been my strong suit, so it's not a huge loss of potential. I'm so excited to see other people solve this week. TI magic always gets me hype, and this puzzle is going to have some wizardry. I agree.
Congrats on top 10, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can count the tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus 6 is that? So this is 41 instructions.
7 at the top. 7 at the top.
Oh, 40 instructions. Something like that.
You also, if you're using your cursor to indicate where on screen you're counting, it's not showing up on Twitch, so we don't get to see where your cursor is.
Can you not see the, like, X in-game?
Correct.
What?
Wait. Yeah, huh. We can't see your cursor, probably because you're not full screen.
This is weird. Didn't know that. Interesting.
My typical way of counting tracks is to stop it and then click drag and see what multiple of 5 the cost goes down by.
Yeah, but then I have to do math. Why do math where you can just count?
Hang on. I can just edit.
This is counting as
I can change that.
Yeah,
Do I? Yeah, I have captured cursor off. Okay, now you can see my cursor. Yay.
Yay.
Let's go.
Yeah, next up we have Mr. Puzzle at 53 T plus I. Bleh.
Bleh.
This looks trackless. This looks like a TI brained approach.
I wish we could zoom out.
Yeah, this is trackless.
Is it delayed start? I'm trying to figure out.
No delayed start. This is period 8. Huh. But yeah, Mr. Puzzle writes, this puzzle is pretty neat, but I'm low on energy this week. So here you go. No track even.
I like how it slots
probably
it
like
in.
12 or something stupid small.
I like how it slots the products into the top to the top polymer.
Did he predict min is 12?
Or something. I don't think that's
Okay.
an entirely serious suggestion.
I don't think that's a serious prediction.
You said 34 and then you said 12, and my impression of these two numbers is wildly different.
They're about the same, give or take. I'm just trying to figure out where
I
does
love
it
how
get
the
iron?
monomers just slot in. It's a contender of pivot of the week.
You also, I haven't seen how the bottom one is joined. I'm wondering if there's a similar like dodge pivot for the bottom.
Oh, I think it's the same thing. But
yeah,
this
we
is
could go
exactly
look
the
at
same thing. So
One thing that really was a challenge for me this week was making the two infinites parallel to each other at any point that was without allowed to collision.
It's the problem with double infinites. They have to be parallel to each other.
I added 2 instructions just to grab the infinite that was already finished and spin it around until it was parallel to the others. There's 2 instructions that I could never get rid of.
Oh, that's gotta feel awful.
It does. It does feel awful. We'll see my solution eventually. I'll be sad then. I'll be happy for now.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get first place and you'll be like, better, feel better about it.
I won't feel better. I'll feel angry that that's the winning solution.
Next up, we have Sockboy at 45 Ti Clockwork.
Fiesta saying 45 is very doable given what we saw in the previous, and it just drops those 8 immediately to 45.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish we had zoom tool right now.
This also looks like two things doing the same thing.
Yeah, like ordinarily if you have two infinites in TI, you join them together while you're building, and so you don't have to manipulate two different molecules. But here, if you ever join them together, you can never validate it because you can't break those bonds.
So we had Big Ear over here complaining that we took away bricks.
Yes. Yes. I was imagining TI was shown first, so in my area notes when I wrote "imagine bricks," it was after previously in the notes that are going to be on my upcoming solution, lamenting how bricks are not.
Sorry, not sorry.
It's just a different metric when you don't get brick.
Biggie is infamous for bricking the TI up.
Next up, we have Not Great New Solution 1.
New Solution 1 getting scoring as well.
Yeah, Trixie in chat asking, why couldn't you just set the infinites to go in different directions? The game will not allow you to rotate a solution.
Because of how it's verified, apparently. Zach is lazy, is your answer.
Saves one instruction on the previous one, and I could not tell you
I
where.
mean, I heard when the... Oh, you go first.
I really like when arms like Arm 4 exist that do a rotate and a pivot to the left, because they allow you to get some interesting geometric offsets between the pieces. Like the rotate.
I was gonna say... Oh, you finish. You finish. Tell me when you're done.
The offset between in the outputs, the like knights move, when you have the 2 iron and then the 2 iron and knights move away from them, it's kind of awkward to do with any number of arms in TI. So when you have like multiple rotations like Arm 4 is doing, it helps a lot. I'll let you say your thing.
But yeah, I was gonna say that infinite validation is really jank.
It was worse before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it was even worse before, where there was so much jank before. It's gotten slightly better, but even then there's still so much jank.
Whenever you
I
look
think
at
like
old solutions, the puzzles like Golden Thread, Very Dark Thread, Refined Bronze, there's like this requirement to stick an atom where the ... is so that you could make bonds to it, because the validator cared about those bonds even if it didn't care about the atom. So you could put the wrong atom at the end of your infinite, but you had to make bonds to it, otherwise it wouldn't validate.
You had to make the bond. But it didn't have to be the right atom, because the ... doesn't check for the right atom.
Refined Bronze, the first 44, had a fire atom just stuck at the end of the filament, and if you didn't have that fire atom there, it would be literally 4 cycles slower.
Yeah, but they ended up fixing that. So right now, infinite validation is still somewhat jank. There's a requirement that you have to stay within the height, but like if it's outside the height, left and right, you can connect just about anything and it still validates.
Yeah, and you only need every atom that shows up in the product glyph instead of needing one extra atom to the right, and sometimes not needing arms on the left.
Mm-hmm. And like if you ever exceed the height of the polymer, it just doesn't validate then.
Chat pointing out that Arm 5 pivots through itself. If you go to the bottom right of the solution, it pivots.
Oh wow, that's a thing.
Amazing. Quantum bonds are silly.
Let's pivot here.
But yeah, and then we decided, with polymers already so jank, we decided to combine it with the jank of quantum bonds.
I really enjoyed this week. It's just
Oh, we have a primary tie in 6th place, Evanov.
Whoa.
It comes in at 20 cycles faster than the previous solve. Wow.
Oh wow, that swing. I'm glad that we're centered on Gratelli and that the swings that happen are unbelievable that they don't crash. Like, what on earth is that swing?
Just slam them together. It works, trust me.
We need a slow motion replay of that. There's more than one stupid swing, okay.
Mara,
Yeah,
you need to
because-
get mods ready before next time.
On every other time it's joining them, it either is building one of the monomers for the top or the bottom infinite. And so one time it has to join in an iron from the left, and the other time it has to join in an extra air from below. That experimenting with geometry and what does and doesn't collide is something that I've done a lot for cycle solves and TI solves with regular bonds. But when it's
Yeah,
quantum
but you-
bonds, there's a whole new frontier of bullshit that should look like it doesn't work and it works.
Yeah.
No, quantum bond of regular outputs would potentially make for a lot of crap.
Oh yeah, Mr. Royal Spain with if you dodge enough collisions, it just looks like you're playing without them. I forget what puzzle I said that about, but it's a good line.
Alright, next up we have Gaijin Caster with top 5
In fifth
with a
place.
1 TI drop, and that's a fast solution.
99.
It's
Not
not-
four-
Goddamn.
It's period 4? Well,
Yeah,
that explains
period
it. This.
But it is only
Is it
half
is it
speed.
a delayed start? No, it isn't. It's building both at the same time.
Yeah, it's just period 4. Just well made, fair enough.
Period 4, but it's only grabbing 1 Quicksilver per loop, so it is not full rate.
Mhm.
This is Quicksilver limited in cycles, by the way, just because you need 2 Quicksilver for each time you add a tin pair to the board.
Wait,
so-
does this
Yeah.
use the same monomer for both? I had to figure out because this. I think this saves instructions by having a lot of the assembly be reused.
Right, so one thing that's worth noting about this puzzle, and I guess I can talk about it now because
Oh,
the solution
What
is
it does
doing
is
it.
iron, air, iron, iron, air.
Yeah,
iron,
like it's
air,
it's
iron, air,
alternating
iron, air.
monomers
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah, you can use bi-arms to get every 3 motion to build out your 3 tall monomers, but you can use tri-arms to get every
Tri-arms,
2 motions so that you can pull the input. So a clever conjunction of bi-arms and tri-arms allows you to alternate building one monomer versus the other. And this is a very good example of that. I think it's the first solution to be very clearly doing it. Maybe Evanov's was doing that in part, but this is very clearly doing it because it's all in the same station with the same geometry.
Very well made.
Mhm. And I guess that also explains why this can be so fast. It's just pretty simple.
All right. Next
Oh,
up.
drop 36.
Wow, yeah, big drop. We have
Big drop.
at
In fourth
36
place, we have
TI.
Transcendental Communication Industries in association with Trixie Kagami Alchemy Company.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I have to defend her wording, and I shouldn't have to.
Oh,
Building it backwards, interesting.
it's building
Oh,
them
we're doing-
backwards and
It's not only building it backwards, it's building 2 of them.
huh?
Guess we're doing iron now.
This is a delayed start, I think. I think there's
Yeah,
an
this is
extra
a delayed
arm that
start,
pivots
but
it over.
arms 2 and 4 are delayed. So it starts
we're
making
doing
them
iron
near
now.
infinite.
If it's on the left of it, it just doesn't matter if it's connected.
Yeah, it's all one brick. It's all in the same left to right. So maybe this
Biggie,
redeems
bricking.
bricking. This redeems bricking. You can just connect everything left to right with delayed start. I had a delayed start approach. That was one of my first solutions, and it was not this pretty. It did have lower instructions though.
Right. Trixie, oh no. Transcendental Communications Industries in association with Trixie Kagami Alchemy Corporation writes.
Stop it!
The second wire to emerge from this partnership is the wire that branches out from the aforementioned central wire. The ends of this wire were surrounded by iron atoms to ensure a stable connection with the central wire and the telephone itself. Then the wire itself carries the signal through its core using the surrounding air atoms as insulation. As such, the engine used to construct such a wire needs to be able to switch between producing the end of the wire and the center. This demonstration shows the engine's capability to create wire of any variable length, such that even on uneven terrain it has no trouble connecting a redundancy telephone to the network below. Were we to stop generating additional wire, the machine would disable ARM 2, switching the switch structure back to make an additional 7 air core variants, before capping the wire off with some additional iron and coming to a halt. Yeah, so you can just bond both of them together if you have them in the same line.
Because, it doesn't exceed the height. If it's on the same height, you can just bond them together. Also, delayed start is a very common tactic in terms of TI. When you have more than one product, it's very often used. So those familiar with TI, and those familiar enough in TI, use this tactic often.
To show what delayed start means, Mara, would you pan to the right to see where ARM 4's first instruction is? There we go. That's delayed start.
Yeah,
ARMs are allowed to have a don't work until. They are not allowed to have a loop from here in the current build of the game, but they do get to have a don't start working until.
Mm-hmm.
Also, regarding company versus corporation, that'll teach Trixie to have a short name for anything.
Right, next up, we have in third place, Fiestaland. T plus I plus. That implies that's track.
Plus. I don't know, it's in quotations.
There's no track here, I've been scammed. No delayed
it's
start
in quotations. It's making fun of the T plus I metric.
Yeah, it's subtracting the plus from T plus I.
That's a funny triumph. I guess you can do that. This just works with any input of length 3, though.
God, Mr. Royal Spade mentioning a delay until cycle 10,000. I hate that for your programming.
Yeah.
I like the input suppression that ARM 3 does. It lets it go around in a circle with some iron attached. Pretty.
Fiestaland writes, this strategy still feels a little slapdash, but is nonetheless a big improvement from the 41 where we started.
Well, okay, yeah.
We're curious to see if there are any tax, I assume that's tracks-based strategies that can meet it. The non-viability of bricking makes us wonder. Maybe it is viable though, who knows?
They also had a problem with not being able to brick.
Yeah. This looks like a very vanilla TI solve, I guess. It does all the things that previous solves we've seen done, but just in fewer arms. So this one only has 10 arms, whereas previous ones have had like 12 or 14.
I feel like I could save one instruction on this just with how the top infinite is oriented.
I'm on unmodded, so tinkering should be okay.
We don't have anti-tinkering installed.
Yeah, if ARM 10 is gone, and instead there is an ARM which has a grab point 4 tiles to the right of ARM 9, and pivots and then rotates after a pivot, it will save one instruction on it. This is exactly how I build my infinites, with the same swing in that ARM 9 does.
So
you let ARM 9 swing one more time, and then ARM 10 pivots 4 tiles to the right of ARM 9.
So as in you want ARM 9 to be grab, rotate, rotate?
No, ARM 9 is allowed to proceed for one more tape loop, rotating the whole thing up and to the right.
Ah, okay.
And then ARM 10 pivots it to the right from that.
So
don't try to tinker. It's annoying to try to tinker if I can't communicate this clearly.
Don't. We'll just look at Vicky's solution.
In second place, we have y'all.
Yeah, okay, we didn't win it. That's good. I was afraid we were going to win it with our 2 extra instructions.
Do you want to read your notes for this one? Because...
You should read them.
Okay. Vicky,
how are you why are you blaming you?
Vicky here. Ordinarily when you want to make 2 polymers in low 2i, you bond them together and don't think too hard.
Stop it. This is entirely me. This is not any... I didn't contribute to this at all. So just read this as though it's not memes. Read this as though it is not memes.
Okay, right. Ordinarily, when you want to make 2 polymers in low 2i, you bond them together and don't think very hard. This is not allowed here, and the fact that the only bricks one could use are useless bricks with quicksilver in them. The quicksilver preparation in the solution is already really slick. It's everything else that feels inelegantly doubled. I tried a bi-arm to pull away the monomers and pure instructions with 2 basic arms, but the angles were really bad, so it hurt more than it helped. To make things just that little bit worse, the polymers kept coming out and facing different directions, so I burned away just for the final orientation step. Hopefully someone makes something that feels that little bit more slick. I hope it doesn't use track, though.
So if you watch the assembly, Arm 7 is doing the thing that that I was suggesting to do for the previous solve. It's doing the exact same swing to join the polymer to the remaining things. And then there's another arm that pivots and then gets its grab point out of the way. If you pan down from here, pan down quite a bit. That's how you get a length 4 offset between monomers. You are terrible at centering what I'm looking for on the screen.
This is why we have zoom on. Alright, you should set up wanted.
You were perfect and then you panned back up. I want you to focus 3 tiles down left from arm 9. 3 tiles down left from arm 9. Perfect. You saw it. You saw it. I appreciate you.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
That gives you the 4 tile offset and doesn't have any spare grabs with only 7 instructions where the previous one used 8.
Nice.
And I do it on the other side too, but the infinite comes out facing the wrong way, so there's an arm at the top that breaks the loop.
Yeah.
That just exists to reorient everything. I was looking for 30 that was like taking slightly less of a sacrifice, and I couldn't find it. But I was just thinking it's a 29. It's 29, and it just has +2 because this puzzle's annoying. This is a 29 Ti in spirit. If it gets beaten by more than 3, I'm really happy.
Alright, I don't know who beats this.
There's only one person left.
Meanderer?
Yeah. Alright, next up we have Paxton.
Paxton.
Paxton playtest at 29 Ti.
Right, there's a 29 playtest. We'll take that.
Okay. Wow. It's period 5.
We told you we play tested it.
By we mean Paxton.
Yeah.
It's period 5 8 arms. How does assembly work?
This is
it does
really
the same
good.
thing of alternating iron and air.
Yeah, so 4
It has the triarm biarm.
Clearly.
Yeah, 4 is the triarm, but there's no triarm.
Yeah, I mean, arm 1 is effectively a triarm because it's only grabbing every 2.
Right.
It can be a triarm. The solution won't be any different, I think.
Arm 1 is a try-hard triarm.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just got twice as many triarm.
Good.
Arm 1 is now actually a triarm.
Got it. Calioresis did submit.
Calioresis got down.
And this is just incredibly clean.
Yeah.
It really helps to have arm 4. I guess arm 3 is the one that's agnostic to whether it's holding iron or air, and then arm 4 is doing the
Arm 4 is
thing.
just classic TI magic.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is truly beautiful. Arms 4 and 5 make it so that you get the same facing monomer out both ways instead of mine, which had alternate facing monomers out.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Calioresis to show this anything it's doing wrong. Like this is exciting for me now. It's all things that are better than what I figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And in first place, we have Calioresis at 26 Ti. Wow.
Only 26. That's a 3-eye shave.
12. Hey, it uses the same first swing as mine.
What is this arm 3 doing?
I love arm 3 so much. It looks like it's holding different atoms than it is. The molecule bonds are funny. Oh god, this is beautiful.
Arm 3 is
Delayed
only
start.
for initialization.
That's a delayed start.
Oh yeah, it's a delayed start, huh? Yeah, arm 1, 2, and 3
It
just...
bricks it, Briggy. It bricks it.
I appreciate you so much, Calioresis.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for
it uses
beating
the
this level.
transcendental tech. or the Trixie Kagami Alchemy Corp tech of just.
In the end, bricks win.
I'm still looking for how it actually switches. I need you to focus on arms 4 and 5 for me.
Yeah.
Kagan.
I'm gonna. So at the start. Oh, it switches. There's a double delayed start because it starts by just making the irons, and then arms 4, 6, and 7 cause
It just buffered.
Yeah.
Okay.
4, 6, and 7
Oh,
start
so it's
doing
buffered.
things.
That's advanced delay start.
Yeah. And then yeah, with all the arm 3 buffer atoms, which is enough to make this first monomer. And then
Yeah, the first
at some
two
point
outputs.
arms 5 and 8 start working.
Oh, damn.
And starts making the second monomer.
This is so clever.
Yeah, because you only need so many iron inputs, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 26 Ti, folks.
That's so.
Calories just shows us all how it's done again. I also love like the inputting on this one.
I might have spent more time on TI had I not made a team and realized area was kind of fun. So I'll take it. I'll take second and first with the help of you and Nancy B. Drew and Who and Albatross, all of whom are the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Secret source? I guess, yeah, this qualifies as secret source, although it's unclear how much it saves.
Delayed start linear chaining brick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
I feel like there's more than one element of the source.
It's the same thing as it's like the same thing as we see in area solutions. It's just or just other solutions in general. The best solution is just combining all the tech people found along the way. Kind of like how BioSteel Filament was. In that, like, we saw different techs, and then, like, in the end, it just combined all the tech.
Alright, I'm gonna load up the game for good reason.
Yes. Up next,
Do we have it ready? Let me go.
I have it. I have the puzzle ready.
Oh yeah, it's already in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I need to go and like press the button to release it.
Okay, tell me when you're ready to press the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, congrats, Calioresis, on yet another TI win.
Hi, Jamie. The stream's over. Well, the stream's not over. We still got showcases and speed. But...
Yes. So up next,
Right.
this week
You
12
ready, Mara?
puzzle thing. Yeah, my headphones made a noise. This week 12
Does
puzzle.
week 12 come after 10?
Yeah, it's close enough. Week 11 puzzle. It is actually called. Was this renamed since I've last?
Yes, it was renamed. You probably have the old puzzle.
But was the
Well,
puzzle
looks like
actually
we've got
changed?
one puzzle.
I don't know.
I
You just go download the new puzzle.